So those were the guidelines. I hope that made sense to you. I want to give you some of my practical boundaries so that I don't overstep them and I have freedom in those boundaries to have meaningful relationships, to sometimes have a deep conversation, blah blah blah. My first boundary, which I made like years ago, is to do with texting. I realized that I love texting and I'm very open when I'm texting. And I also realized, interestingly, that at night I get a bit strange and I get a little more liberated to say whatever I want. I don't know why that is. It's like something unlatches after a certain time in the night. So I set a cutoff time for when I will text, especially guys. And of course, if there's like a really important situation where help is needed, I'm not gonna be like, no, it's past my time so I can't talk to you. There are exceptions to this, but I try to keep it as far as possible. Another personal rule I have, these are all personal rules. You see for yourself, where do you get really vulnerable and what can you do to keep things in place. I don't share more with my friend than I do with my girl best friends. And this is something that kind of helped me realize this. Like, if I'm sharing more with guy friends than them, something is, well, either they are not just friends or something is off. And thank you, you know who you are, who told me to do this. I will share things with my guy friends. I love those relationships. I really love it because it's so different and it's really interesting. But I will keep a check on how much I share with them as opposed to my girl best friends, sorry if I'm repeating, or my parents or my sibling. If it's more, then I know that I have to dial back. This may seem like a lot, but it's actually, it should be obvious, it should be quite simple. It is simple to do, and you're just being intentional and careful with each other's lives. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it spoils fun. I think you can have fun and you won't be breaking hearts or you won't get your heart broken. Is there one last personal rule that I will share with you? This is the last one I'm going to give you and then we can stop for this topic. A very helpful one, I think. Personal rule I have is I will see the other person, the guy especially, what are their emotional boundaries? If they have set something for themselves, if they're a little closed in some areas, I won't try to make them talk about that particular thing. If that's something private to them, leave it there. I would say if you go and try to think, okay, I'm gonna be this person's friend, I'm gonna save them from depression or whatever, it may not affect you, but it'll affect the other person because now they'll be sharing something with you that they've never spoken to anyone else in their whole life, and they'll probably think you're the one for them. It goes back into oversharing and having rules in life. Don't break those boundaries. In fact, it'll be better if you match it. How I match it, in a very small example, is I've noticed this a lot in Bangalore. I don't know if it's everywhere. People look down a lot. Guys, they look at the floor like it's a sin to look at a woman, and that's probably better than looking at a woman and sinning. But I found that a lot of guys just don't look at you. So what I started doing is also not looking as much at them. Sometimes we've had convos like, I'm facing this way and he's also facing this way, and we're just somehow managing a conversation. Why this is helpful is if they've kept this boundary for themselves, they've told themselves or they've been brought up that way or whatever, and if you keep telling them, look at me, or you like stare at them, which I had a really bad problem of doing. I would just stare at people. I thought that was good. I thought eye contact is necessary. It is necessary, but you don't have to stare at a person. And I found that I think it sometimes makes the wrong impression that I'm more interested than I actually am. In my view, I'm just being a good person, but someone else who has a different boundary might think, oh, let's see where this goes. And it messes things up. So in summary, friend to friend, try to see what is your friend's emotional boundary and try to make boundaries with this friend that kind of go together. Don't clash. Don't try to break into his life or her life in the name of friendship. Okay, that was so much. It's all intense topics. If you want me to talk about something that I mentioned in this video a little more, please comment below. I can make like separate videos about each of those things. Very, 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 very crucial topic I feel that we need to talk more about. And I have some more videos related to this that I will link in the cards and the end cards and the description below. You can check those out. I'll see you in the next video. Until then and always, strive to be like Jesus. Ooh. We have hit, I don't like to say hit. Hit is not a nice word. It's not like we have gone and slapped 3,000 people, but there are 3,000 people on this channel. It's written on there. That's a lot of people. I don't think I know 3,000 people. But y'all are watching and I'm so honored. Thank you for joining this channel, and I hope this video was like a juicy one, interesting one, and helpful one. That's all I wanted to say. Okay, bye.